The Wildcats will be receiving the opening kickoff, and this 1996 football season is about to get underway. The Rhea County Golden Eagles will kick off with John Kirkseed, and the ball game is underway. Here's the kick. It's a line drive, short kick. Will bounce to the 20-yard line. Will be fielded by Bohanon to the 20, to the 25-yard line, 30, to the 35, to the 40-yard line. Down he goes to the 42-yard line. It'll be first down, 10 yards to go for the Oak Ridge Wildcats. A short kick and a fine return by Shaun Bohanon.
Well, David, that's definitely the way you want to start off your season. I can't believe it. They really kicked the ball to Bohanon, but they did. And Oak Ridge is going without a huddle, and quarterback Chad Luciar's at the line now.
26-yard return for Shaun Bohanon. First down, 10 yards to go. We're just underway in the first quarter. High formation for the Wildcats. Senior quarterback Chad Luciar under center. And the pitch will go to Shaun Bohanon. Gets a block from his fullback. He breaks free at the 45 to the 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown Oak Ridge. Shaun Bohanon takes it all the way with the score. 11:42 to play in the first quarter.
You know, David, all the hype that you've heard about Shaun Bohanon, if anybody has any doubts, all you have to do is see one play, the first play of the game, goes about 65 yards, basically untouched for a touchdown.
6-0 Oak Ridge, just like that. Oak Ridge on top. And into the game to attempt the extra point will come Granger Marler, the senior place kicker. What a dynamic, what an exciting run by Shaun Bohanon. The Wildcats up 6-0, and we're just a few seconds into this ball game. Luciar to hold, Dickens to snap, Granger Marler to attempt. Big pressure, here's the kick, it's up, flags are down, they rough the kicker, but it's good. We'll be back in 60 seconds. 7-0, the Oak Ridge Wildcats on top, just like that. What an exciting run by Shaun Bohanon.
Absolutely, David. They came out, they didn't have a huddle, so obviously the play was called before they even got to the line of scrimmage. It was just a sweep to the right side. There was not really a whole lot there. Shaun Bohanon just saw a little bit of a crease, turned on the afterburners, and just flat out outran everybody to the corner of the end zone. There was a free safety who actually had the angle on him and was in great position, but the guy was just, Shaun Bohanon is just absolutely so fast that there's no chance in the world for anybody to catch him on that play.
A 58-yard touchdown run for Shaun Bohanon. The Rhea County Golden Eagles were penalized, roughing the kicker, and the Wildcats are going to kick off from the 45-yard line of Rhea County. Let's see if Granger can put it through the uprights.
Well, I would hope so, Dave. You know, this might be a great time to, you know, I don't know, try an onside kick or something. You know, the worst case scenario, they're going to get the ball about the 35-yard line, so that might not be too bad of a play right here.
Here's the kick by Granger. It's a knuckleball into the end zone. It goes for a touchback, and the offensive unit for the Rhea County Golden Eagles will come out on the field. And the big surprise here, after many, many years of playing the wing T offensive style of play, they have gone to the I formation.
Well, David, I talked to one of the coaches, the guy I went to school with, and he said that they had made a coaching change, that you know, the things that they had done in the past was not working. They needed to step up, really get into the 90s. They're probably about 10 years late on that, but they have changed the new offense, so we'll have to see what's going on here.
Up to the line they'll come with their sophomore quarterback, Ryan Sharp. He's a 6-foot, 175-pounder. He wants to pass, rolling off to his left. Gets away from one man, is hit and dropped right at the 20-yard line. There'll be about a yard gain on the play. Brad Redmond there for the stop for the Wildcats, along with Tommy Johnston down there for the Wildcats. Gain of about a yard on the play to bring up second down, a long 9 to go for a first. Just underway, not even a minute into the ball game, and Oak Ridge is up 7-0.
Well, David, I look out and I see Big Josh Young and John Dickens down on the field. You know, as I was told that these guys were only going to play offense, but here they are starting on defense as well.
In a minute, we're going to give away a T-shirt as the quarterback hands it off to his running back, who's hit and dropped right at the line of scrimmage. Pat Davis Dorsey is standing in the aisleway right in front of us. Anybody with a radio who wants a WATO T-shirt, and there's the T-shirt. So you get the T-shirt as...
Jamil Dye was on the tackle that time, David, from his linebacker position.
It'll be, let's see, a penalty against Oak Ridge, and that's going to cost the Wildcats a big, substantial amount of yardage, and Rhea County will pick up the first down on the penalty. Face mask called against Oak Ridge. The ball's at the 36-yard line. 10:57 to play in the first quarter. 7-0 Oak Ridge. The opening game of the 1996 season right here on AM 1290 WATO, Tennessee Cablevision, Channel 12. Receivers left and right. From the I formation, four-man front for the Wildcats. We'll set the defensive starters here in a second. Here's the tailback cutting across the 38-yard line to the 39. The Wildcats in the secondary, coming out with Jason Altman as John Dickens makes the stop on that one. Bell Brock, Joe Gaddis Jr., and Mike Gibson in the secondary. The linebackers are Brad Redmond, Jamil Dye, and Rocky Remine. He's the middle linebacker. Defensively, and this is the big question mark. Coach Gaddis has been saying in the preseason, this is the positions where he's wanted somebody to step up. The Wildcat 4 stars, we'll get them here in a second. Tommy Johnston and Pendergrass are the rush-ins, and it'll be 2nd down and 7. The quarterback will roll to his right. He's in trouble. Dumps the pass. The pass is complete for a yard or 2 gained on the play. The stop is made by the Wildcats. Looks like Joe Gaddis Jr. at around the 41-yard line. It'll bring up 3rd down and 5.
Well, you have to say one thing for Ray County. At least it's a lot more exciting to watch them. They've come out with a lot of misdirection. That time they had a little misdirection, a little counterplay, and came off. Quarterback had a little dump pass to look like the tight end, but you really didn't see a lot of that in the years past.
John Dickens is out on the defensive line along with Josh Young for Oak Ridge. 3rd down, 5 yards to go. Quarterback from the shotgun drops back to pass. Here's the pass, overthrown, incomplete. Some collision between Joe Gaddis and the intended receiver, number 2, Vinny Congeloso. But it'll be an incomplete pass. It'll bring up 4th down and about 4.5 yards to go. And Mike Gibson will drop back to receive the punt for the Wildcats.
They were actually in the shotgun that time. I haven't seen that in probably since the Andy Kelly days. They're definitely bringing the new playbook out.
Everybody on the line except for Mike Gibson, who's standing back at around the Oak Ridge 30-yard line. They'll punt. 4th down and 5. 9:26 to play first quarter. Low snap. Here's the punt. End over end. Kick. Angling out of bounds. And it goes out of bounds at around, let's see, the 25. They're walking up the sideline. They're going to say it's officially out of bounds at the 34-yard line, and that's where Oak Ridge will take over. 1st down, 10 yards to go. Thanks for tuning us in. The Wildcats scoring quickly on a 58-yard touchdown run by Shaun Bohanon.
Yeah, really, boy, it's a thing of beauty too, Dave. On the Street and Smith All-American team, he's everybody's consensus All-State tailback, and he touches the ball one time and goes 58 yards for a touchdown, and I'm sure that's not the first time that we're going to see that this year.
Up to the line of scrimmage will come Chris Black. He is the center for the Wildcats. Receivers for Oak Ridge, Bell Brock and Mike Gibson off to the far side. Oak Ridge from the eye. Chad Lucier under center. 1st down and 10. Handoff. Shaun Bohanon this time. He doesn't get the same kind of yardage he got before. He does gain about 2 on the play. You can't expect him to go 58 yards on every play.
No, you can't. That's brought his season average down to about 30 yards a carry now.
9 minutes, 5 seconds to play. First quarter just underway from Blankenship Field. Thanks for tuning us in. David Clary, Scott Munger, Mark Hayes, our statistician. We're also on Tennessee Cablevision Channel 12 tonight on the live audio, and we appreciate the people at Tennessee Cablevision, Dan Childs, for allowing us on their airways tonight. 2nd down and about 7 yards to go. Once again, 2 receivers to the far side. Chad Lucier will be sacked, and he goes down at around the 29-yard line. Big penetration that time by Ray County. It's a big loss on the play.
Well, they had a reverse setup, looked like to Mike Gibson, and it looked like the guy came right up the gut. It could have been the nose guard. I don't know if that was designed for him not to be blocked. I kind of doubt that, but somebody missed and assigned it, and they lost about 10 yards, brings up 3rd and 14 and about 14 yards.
The Wildcats now will send, let's see, Jason McAdley here to the near side along with Shaun Bohanon. 4 receivers in the pattern. The lone running back is Stan Sisk, the fullback. And Chad will pass. Looks across the middle. There comes McAdley. The pass is intercepted by Ray County's Brian Huffstetler. He returns the ball, then tackled by Bell Brock at around the 41-yard line. So Ray County takes over. 1st down, 10 yards to go. The pass was intended for Jason McAdley. He overthrew his man, and it was easily picked off by Huffstetler.
Yeah, it was just a little in route, maybe a flag route. Jason McAdley looked like he could have been open. I'm not really sure. The pass was just a little high, and of course, if you want to throw a bad pass, you got to keep it low, or a lot of times the safeties back there will pick it off, and that's exactly what happened. Gives Ray County great field position about the 41-yard line.
7-0 Oak Ridge on top. 7:55 to play in the first quarter. Ray County ball. 1st down, 10 yards to go in Oak Ridge territory. Their quarterback hands the ball off, and they move the ball forward for a gain of 5 or 6 yards before Brad Redmond and Jason Altman make the stop on the running back, who carries for good yardage. Nice carry for number 19 for them, Terrence Roberts. He's a 5'7", 140-pounder. Gain of about 5. 2nd down, 5 yards to go. Next week we'll be on the road at Farragut as the Wildcats take on the Admirals. 7:30 kickoff. We'll be on the air once again with our pregame coverage at 6 o'clock. Once again from the I formation. Receivers left and right. Under center, Sharp. He hands it off. There's a big stick by the Wildcats. Big knock by Rocky Remine. Perfect name for a linebacker, and he drives the ball carrier back.
Yeah, David, it's an excellent hit that time. I believe he's playing middle linebacker, and nobody touched him. He filled the gap and just drilled the ball carrier for about a -1 carrier yard gain. And, you say Rocky Remine, what an absolutely perfect name for a middle linebacker.
Third down, then about 6 yards to go from the I once again. Receivers left and right. Quarterback rolling to his right, has plenty of running room, cuts it across the 30. Down he goes, makes a move along the sideline to the 20, down to the 19-yard line. Very fine run by Ryan Sharp. He got to the corner, nobody there, and he's able to pick up a big first down.
Well, David, he faked the ball into the middle of the field and actually had a wonderful fake and carried it out to the end like it was going to be an option. There wasn't a back there to pitch it to. He just tucked it up and gained about 15 yards for a big first down. Brings first and 10 from about the 19-yard line.
Up to the line once again they'll come. I formation. 2 receivers to the far right is an equipment problem for John Dickens, and play is halted with 6:34 to play in the first quarter. 7-0 our score. Oak Ridge scoring very, very quickly at the 11:42 mark of this quarter. Handoff to the fullback, and he is hit and stuck right at the line of scrimmage. Will lose about a yard on the play. No place to go right up the middle. The Wildcats all over it, including Tommy Johnston, and the middle portion, John Dickens out there along with number 69, Jared Carell. It'll be second down, 11 yards to go. Mark Haste, our statistician tonight. We've got Nathan Forbes. He'll have a highlight show at the conclusion of the game. We'll have interviews down on the field as well. We'll hope everybody will stay tuned immediately following the ball game. We'll also have Coach Joe Gaddis. Second down, 11 yards to go. Receivers once again to the left and to the right. 4-man front. Quarterback hands it off, and then the man is hit and dropped again for a big loss. John Dickens there to finish off the man. Brad Ribbon, I think, there first, along with one other Wildcat. If he'll turn around, I'll put out his name. It'll be Carell once again. It'll be a substantial loss back to the 25-yard line. Third down at about 6 yards to go.
That was a very good play, David. It had a great penetration. Looked like all 4 of the down linemen were there. Brings up third and about 15 yards.
Up to the line they'll come once again wide to the right side. It'll go Torrey White. Single man here to the near side. Third down, 16 yards to go from the Oak Ridge 25. 5 men on the line for Oak Ridge. The quarterback will call a timeout. We'll take one ourselves. 7-0 Oak Ridge, back in 60 seconds. Third down, 16 yards to go. The quarterback in trouble. He is sacked at the 36-yard line. The Wildcats all over him that time. Jamil Dye was in quickly, along with Bill Pendergrass, and it's another big loss. It'll be fourth down facing the Ray County Golden Eagles.
Yeah, it's a very good point. Mark Hayes just mentioned a big sack, lost about 10 or 12 yards. Could very easily have brought them out of field goal range. It brings up fourth and about 20. We'll have to see what they're going to do.
Fourth down, about 25 yards to go. Ray County coached by Brad Payne. In his third year as the head coach, John Allen, Gary Cooper, I thought he was dead. John Killian, Jerry Levengood, Jason Fitzgerald, Jesse Messimer, and Shane Johnston, the assistant coaches. Fourth down, 25 yards to go from the shotgun. Let's see if they go with that little quick pitch. No, he'll pass. Cranks it up across the middle. Pass is incomplete. Jason Altman almost there for the interception, but Oak Ridge will take over on downs. First down, 10 yards to go. The Wildcats offensive unit back out on the field.
Yeah, there's a great play. Another good play that time by Vel Brock, the receiver. The ball was thrown a little high, and Vel Brock just drilled the receiver for another fine stick.
Wildcats onto the field. The quarterback is the senior Chad Lucier, getting his second start of his career. Last year he started the Campbell County ball game in place of the injured Mike Gibson. Chad is a senior, the son of the defensive coordinator at Oak Ridge High School, Bruce Lucier. He's a 5'11", 160-pounder. Receivers left and right. Actually, 4 receivers in the pattern. The single running back is Stan Sisk, and Stan gets the call. Moves the ball to the 40-yard line, up to the 45. Picks up a first down. Typical Stan Sisk run, nothing fancy. Just lowers his shoulder, keeps the legs driving, picks up about 10 yards on the carry, and indeed, it's a first down for the Wildcats.
Well, I might go out on a limb and say that Stan Sisk may be one of the best fullbacks that ever played this game. You know, he started as a sophomore, I believe, probably about halfway through the season. And from that point, it seemed like Oak Ridge's offense clicked. Had a great year last year, and, you know, on his first run, picks up 10 this year.
Up to the line will come the Wildcats. Once again, Gibson and Velbrock as wide receivers. Chad Lucier will pitch to Bohanon. Cuts across the 45 to the 50-yard line. Shaun Bohanon down to around the 48. gain of about 6 or 7 on the play. Shaun Bohanon was listed in the Street and Smith College Preview magazine as one of the top 50 prospects in the United States. Quite an honor for Shaun Bohanon.
Absolutely, David. You know, we've seen him, for this is our 3rd year, and he deserves every accolade he could get.
3 minutes, 33 seconds to play first quarter, 7-0 the score. I thought it was a big word too, Scott.
That was a good word.
I formation will come the Wildcats. Chris Black the center. Oak Ridge quarterback. Lucier hands it off to Stan Sisk, and Stan this time doesn't pick up first down yardage. He is knocked down hard. Looked like by number 52, Bruce Hayes, for the Ray County Golden Eagles. Oak Ridge has never lost to Ray County. Oak Ridge is 5-0 coming into this ball game. The first game dating back to 1974. They played in 75, and I think this is the 3rd consecutive year, actually the 4th consecutive year, Oak Ridge has played Ray County. Jason McAdley and Shaun Bohanon drift off to the far left. Bill Brock and Mike Gibson is receivers to the near side, but Chad Lucier sneaks the ball forward for an Oak Ridge first down. So positive yardage for the senior quarterback, and he picks up the first down, and the chains are moving. The ball is put down officially at the Ray County 43-yard line, where it'll be first down, 10 yards to go for the Wildcats.
You know, it's great to see Chad Lucier back there playing quarterback. You know, I met him when his dad came to coach with Bill Young, I guess, in 1981. You know, it could only been probably, 4 or 5 years old, and have seen this kid grow up, and to see him starting at Oak Ridge at quarterback just gives me great pleasure.
Big crowd on hand here at Blankenship Field. Chad will pass, pumps once, goes down the field long. There's Mike Gibson. The pass is incomplete. Just a little bit underthrown that time. Pass is incomplete. Second down, 10 yards to go. 2:22, and the clock is now stopped. We're in the first quarter of this non-regional contest at Blankenship Field, the opening game of the 1996 football season. The next 4 weeks, Scott will be on the road at Farragut next week, and we'll go to Gallatin, we'll go to Dobbins-Bennett, and we'll go to Central as well. It's going to be a long road trip. Wildcats to the line. Bill Brock is a receiver here to the near side. Mike Gibson drifting off to the far left. Wildcats moving from left to right as we play in the first quarter. Here's movement by Ray County's number 40, Aubrey Sally. He goes across the line. That's going to cost them 5 yards. 7-0 our score. Oak Ridge scoring on a 58-yard touchdown run by Shaun Bohanon. Later on at halftime, we'll go back to the station for scores of other ball games. We'll also have Mark Hast's first half statistics. We'll give away the giant cookie from the Great American Cookie Company. We'll also give away 2 breakfasts, or actually a breakfast for 2 from the Chesapeake Bagel Bakery. Second down, 5 yards to go. From the eye, once again, Oak Ridge receivers left and right. The pitch will go to Bohanon. Bohanon across the 35, picks up a first down as he brings the ball to the Ray County 32-yard line, driving his legs, and picks up indeed a first down. Shaun Bohanon gets up slowly. Shaun Bohanon, as Coach Gaddis has been saying, is the perfect running back. It's the first time we've really had a tailback that has, we've had great speed from the tailback, but we've never had the size that Shaun has.
Exactly. You know, you go back and look at, I guess, in the last few tailbacks we've had is Sean Summers. You know, Shaun didn't have great speed. He had great quickness, great football knowledge. And then, I guess, Sean Williams, Shaun had good speed, but the size, you know, he probably only weighed about 155 pounds soaking wet. When you look at Shaun Bohanon, he stands probably 6'2", 190, and, you know, has at least 4 or 5 speed.
Up to the line will come Oak Ridge. Indeed, a first down for the Wildcats. Jason McAdley here to the near side. Pitch will go to Shaun Bohanon. Tries to get outside. 30. Lowers his shoulder. Stays in bounds and goes out of bounds after being pushed out at the 25-yard line by Ray County's number 67, Eli Winans. Another fine run all along the near sideline. Coach Joe Gaddis, the head coach of the Wildcats, assisted by Bruce Lucier, Mike Mullins, Winston Russell, Barry Saunders, Mike Stevens, Gary Terry, and Jim Younger. And the play was right over on the Oak Ridge sideline, so that gave Chad Lucier the opportunity to speak to Coach Joe Gaddis. Second down, 2 yards to go. Mike Gibson, McAdley to the far left. Bill Brock here to the near side. Stan Sisk, the fullback, and there's movement once again by the same Ray County Golden Eagle, Aubrey Sally, and that's going to give Oak Ridge a first down.
Well, you know, David, you were talking about the coaching staff. You know, this year, actually, for the first time in many, many, many years, a lot of the coaches have some different responsibilities. Coach Saunders coached the receivers since I was playing, and now this year he's got the kickers. I know Coach Russell used to coach the quarterbacks. Now he's got the receivers, and I know there were a lot of other different changes. So this is probably a little bit new to all these coaches down there on the sideline.
Shaun Bohanon, incidentally, already with 81 yards here in the first quarter on the ground. First down 10 for Oak Ridge. Chad will pass. Pass complete to Mike Gibson. Makes a move at the 15. Goes down at around the 14-yard line. Gain of about 5 or 6. And that's good because Chad has completed a pass here. His first 2 passes, one was intercepted. The other could have been intercepted. And he gets a little short pattern from Mike Gibson. Completes the pass and gains about 6.
Well, you always want to get that first completion in, Dave, especially, for Chad to get some confidence. And that time, he threw a great little out route and I guess to pick up about 5 or 6 yards to Mike Gibson.
Gibson and Bell Brock as receivers. Stan Sisk as the fullback. Bohanon the tailback. And Chad will hand it off to Shaun. 15, 10, 5. Give him another touchdown. Shaun Bohanon takes it in from about 14 yards out. And the Wildcats up their lead to 13-0 with 57 seconds to play in the first quarter.
There's another little misdirection play to Bohanon on the left side of the field. He really kind of had to make one little dip and then turn on the jets and scored a touchdown.
Granger Marler into the game to attempt the extra point. 57 seconds to play first quarter. The Ray County band making kind of a whining noise across the way there. 13 points on the board early. Chad Lucier will hold. John Dickens will snap. Granger Marler to attempt. Ball is down. Here's the kick. It's up. And the kick, it is good. With time on the field, our score, 57 seconds to play first quarter. 14-0 Oak Ridge, and we'll be back in 60 seconds. Wildcats, 57 seconds to play first quarter. Granger kicks it off, a line drive kick. It is going to be fielded and go into the end zone. It was touched by, I thought it was touched by one of the Golden Eagles as pushing and shoving on the field down here between Jason McAdley and one of the Golden Eagles, but I don't think it's enough to constitute a penalty. It'll be Oak Ridge back on defense and Ray County offense trying to get things going. They trail already 14-0. Last year Oak Ridge won 17-7 down there. Oak Ridge has already put 14 on the board, 2 touchdowns by Shaun Bohanon. Shaun's got to be approaching 100 yards. He has 95 yards here in the first quarter. His school record is 301 yards in one game. That was by Eric Menifee against Fulton back in 1984. Handoff to the tailback. He's hit and dropped. Right at the line of scrimmage, might have even lost a yard. In fact, he will go down behind the 20-yard line, back at the 19-yard line. Brad Redmond on the stop for the Wildcats. Brad was the leading tackler a year ago for the Wildcats, and Brad, I feel, is going to have an outstanding senior season.
Absolutely, David. He's an awesome linebacker. Right now he's playing defensive end. He's really probably best suited as a middle linebacker, which we played last year. But he covers sideline to sideline as well as anybody that's ever been here. Absolutely a phenomenal athlete.
Up to the line will come Ray County. Second down, 11 yards to go. 21 seconds to play first quarter. Setting up the screen pass. The pass is complete. Cuts inside, moves the ball across the 25-yard line. Then a nice open field tackle made by Joe Gaddis at around the 28-yard line, about 2 yards short of a first. He needs to get to the 34 at first. It'll be third down, 2 yards to go as the first quarter comes to a close. So an outstanding first quarter of football for the Wildcats. They lead it by a score of 14-0, and we'll be back to Blankenship Field in 60 seconds. She's standing in the aisle to our left. Up to the line will come Ray County. Quarterback needs 2. He's going to be sacked at the 23-yard line. Big penetration by Jared Carell, and it'll be fourth down facing the Golden Eagles of Ray County. The Wildcat defense coming to play here, and it's fourth down at about 6 yards to go.
Well, Jared Carell's already played a magnificent game. I know he's had at least 2 tackles for minus yards and another big tackle. Once again, he breaks the line on a big third down play.
Mike Gibson back to receive the kick, standing at around the Oak Ridge 40. The Wildcats on top 14-0, 11:31 to play in the second quarter. Oak Ridge and Farragut next week, 7:30 at Farragut. We're expecting a big crowd. Farragut under a new coach, a longtime assistant coach, but Coach Buddy Fisher electing to retire in the off-season. Mike Gibson standing back at the 40-yard line. They'll punt the ball away. And here's the punt. High driving spiral. Mike Gibson fields it at his 35. Cuts to the outside, cuts back inside, and goes down hard at the 37-yard line. And that's where Oak Ridge's offense will take over. First down, 10 yards to go. There's Brett Beeler, along with Coach Jill Pruden, the head coach of the Oak Ridge High School Lady Wildcats. Brett's getting a little bit bigger. It's very seldom nowadays do you see Coach Pruden if she doesn't have Brett in her hand.
Yeah, it must be nice for Janet and her husband. I hear stories about my wife teaching with Janet, so I hear horror stories about Brett.
He's a nice little kid. I guess he's about 17 months old or something, just a little tight, and had a lot of airtime during basketball season during my interviews. Up to the line will come Oak Ridge. First down, 10 yards to go. Chad Lucier under center. The Wildcats with Bohanon and Sisk. And Chad will pass. Looks down the way. Kelly, high spiraling pass. Complete at the 30-yard line. Stays in bounds. No. Goes out of bounds, but what a nice spinning catch by Jason McAdley all the way down the field, and Oak Ridge picks up a first down. Outstanding throw, I thought, by Chad Lucier. McAdley went up and got it, almost stayed in bounds. 2 Ray County Golden Eagle defenders were down there. I don't know how he was able to even make the catch and stay on his feet. Went out of bounds at around the 21-yard line of Ray County.
It's a wonderful throw that time. McAdley just took off down the left side of the sideline. Chad just laid the ball out nicely, and as soon as Jason McAdley caught the ball, he got stuck, and I'm really surprised that he stood on his feet, but actually twisted and almost came out of, he had another couple yards of real estate, he would have stayed in bounds.
Here's the reverse to Mike Gibson, 20, 15-yard line. Mike Gibson down to the 11th. It'll be first down and 10 yards to go on the run on the reverse by Mike Gibson. The Wildcats on top already, 14-0 with 10:49 to play in the first half. The Wildcats now moving from right to left as the sun begins to set here in Oak Ridge at Blankenship Field. The Wildcats on top 14-0. Ray County trying to dig in defensively. Drifting off to the far right, Mike Gibson, number 4. Here to the near side, Bell Brock, both senior receivers. The tight end is Jason McAdley to the right. Oak Ridge from the eye. The pitch will go to Bohanon. Bohanon 5, cuts to the outside and slides right at the 5-yard line. Looked like his feet went out from underneath him. It'll be a gain of about 6 yards in the play. It'll bring up second down, then about maybe 5 yards on the play. Second down, 5 yards to go.
Yeah, he really turned on the jets and went toward the sideline. Looked like he could almost maybe have made it. There was a couple of defenders there, but his feet kind of slipped out from under him, and unfortunately didn't make, I guess, maybe about 5 yards. Brings up second and 5 yards.
10-14 and counting in the first half. 14-0 Oak Ridge. Chris Black, the center, the first man to the line. John Dickens, Josh Young on the line for Oak Ridge. We'll check the other offensive linemen here in a second. From the eye once again, second down, 5 yards to go. Here's Bohanon. Bohanon 5. Bohanon has 6, baby. He scores. Touchdown Wildcats. Shaun Bohanon takes it in for his 3rd touchdown of the ball game, and Oak Ridge leads it by a score of 20-0.
Well, David, I think that puts him over the 100-yard mark. He's got 3 touchdowns, 106 yards officially from our statistician, Mark Hayes. 3 touchdowns, and we're only 9 minutes 56 seconds left to go in the second quarter. Just another day at the office.
Granger Marler in to attempt the extra point. Once again, Chad Lucier to hold. 20-0 Oak Ridge. They've gotten a lot of penetration. High snap. Here comes the kick. It's up. This time it hits the upright and bounces. Good. He got a little luck that time. He's 3 for 3 in the ball game. 21-0 Oak Ridge, and we'll be back in 60 seconds. Gets to kick off. Here's Granger Marler with it on the tee. High, long, driving kick will be fielded by Ray County at the 3, to the 5, to the 7, to the 10, to the 15, to the 20, to the 24-yard line, and finally tackled by Charlie Graham at the 26. It'll be first down and 10 yards to go. Pat Davis Dorsey is in the aisle right here in front of us. Anybody with a radio who gets her attention, she's standing at the top of the aisle here, will get that free WATO t-shirt. And they're all waving at her. And there's the t-shirts. 2 t-shirts. Every time Oak Ridge scores, we'll give out another WATO t-shirt, sponsored by APCO Silk Screening as well. 9 minutes, 47 seconds to play. Second quarter. It's been all Oak Ridge to this point.
Absolutely. Dad, I think we ought to make them work for those t-shirts. Maybe do a little dance or something like that.
The line of scrimmage, let's see. Eventually, we'll have the Ray County offense trying to move the ball. The Wildcats have just done an outstanding job. First down, 10 yards to go. From the eye will come Ray County. 2 receivers here to the near side. They're now moving from left to right. Man in motion off to the left side as the quarterback rolls down the line, pitches to his tailback, and he is blasted. He's able to get back to the line of scrimmage. Joe Gaddis Jr. came in there hard, made a good lick. He was able to squirt the ball forward for a gain, maybe no gain at all. We'll call it second down and 10. 9:31 to play first half. 21-0 Oak Ridge on top.
You know, Joe Gaddis Jr. absolutely plays with so much emotion. I don't know what he's officially listed at his weight. It's probably about 160. He may not even be that much. But, you know, he's had, I think, 2 shoulder operations, and nobody plays with the heart that Joe Gaddis does.
Second down, 11 yards to go. Handoff. Now the quarterback will run it himself, and he moves the ball to the 30, up to the 31-yard line. Brad Redmond around the stop, along with, let's see, number 54 for the Oak Ridge Wildcats, and that'll be Sterner once again. That's a change in your roster. The roster has one name listed, but it's actually Sterner, the transfer from Pennsylvania, wearing the number 54 jersey tonight. Third down, 6 yards to go. Single man to the right, Torrey White. Single man to the left. Backfield split. Quarterback, Sharp will pass. Across the way, the pass is complete for a first down at the 38 and on to the 39-yard line. First down, 10 yards to go. Ryan Sharp is a sophomore quarterback, and he has shown the ability to work the ball well. He's a good quarterback. It appears to be a good quarterback. He fakes the ball real well and does a pretty good job for a quarterback, sophomore quarterback.
Yeah, he's very shifty, very crafty back there. Looks like he has a decent arm. He's run the option fairly well a couple times. So, I think what Coach Gaddis was saying before the game, if you have a senior and a sophomore, go ahead and start the sophomore.
Quarterback rolling back to his right. Sharp looks down the field. Here comes Mike Gibson. Mike Gibson grabs him and sacks him at the 29-yard line. That time Sharp just wouldn't get rid of the ball. Mike Gibson came out like a bullet, grabbed him and slung him down to Blankenship Field.
Well, David, that time, him being a sophomore, I think it definitely showed. It looks like they tried to run a little shovel pass, and one of the defensive linemen ran into the running back, so he had no one to throw to. Rolled out, lost tremendous yardage. He would have been a lot better off just to chunk the ball out of bounds.
Coming out of the contest now is Tommy Johnston for the Wildcats at rush end, replacing him for Oak Ridge. Jim Watson, number 23, also in the game for the Wildcats, number 71, Shane Wiseman at the other rush end. Handoff goes for nothing. Wiseman makes the initial lick, finished off by Jameel Dye and Rocky Remind. It'll be third down and long facing Ray County. The ball at the 31-yard line of the Golden Eagles, wearing all white jerseys with green numerals and gold helmets. The Wildcats in cardinal jerseys, gray pants, and white numerals. Nathan Forbes, our engineer, back at the station. The Wildcats on top 21-0 as we play in the second quarter. 7 minutes to play, actually. We'll have the statistics of the first half as provided by Mark Haste. That'll be at halftime. We'll also be interviewing a former Wildcat who played back in the 50s, Ralph Purnell. Single running back, man in motion, quarterback Sharp, dropping back to pass. Here comes the little pass, complete. Down across the 30 to the 35-yard line, pushed out of bounds finally by the Wildcats' Mike Gibson, along with Oak Ridge's number 71, Shane Wiseman. Pass was complete, but it'll be fourth down facing Ray County. They had to get nearly all the way to midfield. They had a long ways to go. It's fourth down and about 15 yards to go. And into the game will come Vinny Congeloso to punt the ball away for the Golden Eagles. And Mike Gibson will stand at his own 30. The Oak Ridge Band filing out of the Oak Ridge stands here. They'll perform at halftime, as will the Ray County Golden Eagle Band. A good turnout of fans as I look across. Ray County brought quite a few fans, and there's a lot of Oak Ridge fans as well. Fourth down, 15 yards to go. Beautiful night for football. Pleasant temperatures as the kick is high. Spiraling kick, kind of a wobbly spiral. Gibson fields it at the 35, to the 40, to the 50-yard line. Down and tackled at the 45-yard line. He just exploded as he moves the ball into Ray County territory once again. Oak Ridge just has so much speed, so many weapons, and Ray County just cannot match Oak Ridge's speed.
Yeah, he is so exciting back there returning punts, but at the same time he scares me to death. He was like, say, please, please, fair catch, and he doesn't ever seem to want to do that. And he can make some of the most outstanding runs after the punts that as anybody that's ever been here.
21-0, Oak Ridge on top, 6:32 to play in the first half. We'll have scores of other ball games at halftime. We'll hope everybody will stay tuned for that. Chad Lucier at quarterback from the 45-yard line. The pitch will go to Bohanon. Here's the reverse to Gibson with a wall of blockers in front. 45, 40, 35. Spins his way down to the 32-yard line where Oak Ridge will have it. First down, 10 yards to go. The Wildcats going with the reverse, and Oak Ridge picks up on another first down.
David, you can really look at the Ray County Eagles right now. It looks like they're all just sucking wind. You have to kind of wonder, it is fairly muggy out here. It's hot, but, they've only played a quarter and a half, and these guys are just really sucking wind.
Up to the line will come the Wildcats. Darian Milton as a wide out to the far right. Here to the near side is Brock Bohanon. I think the tailback, yes he is, number 10, stands stiff. There's movement on the Oak Ridge line. That's going to cost the Wildcats 5 yards. 6:08 to play first half from Blankenship Field. Only 4 home games this year. The Wildcats will be on the road 4 consecutive games starting next week when we travel to Farragut. Hope everybody will tune us in throughout the course of the season. All 10 games on AM 1290 WATO and Tennessee Cablevision Channel 12. I'd like to thank Dan Childs once again for allowing our audio to be simulcast tonight on Tennessee Cablevision Channel 12. 2 receivers to the far right. Jason McCadley here to the near side. First down, 15. Chad will pass. Pass is complete to McCadley. McCadley hit after a gain of about 5 yards. That time Ray County all over it, including number 31, Corey Sharp, and number 30, it would appear for them, Marcus Pendergrass, and number 34 for them, Mario Allday. It'll be a gain of 5, second down, and 10 yards to go. The ball at the Ray County 32. The Wildcats moving from right to left with 5.5 minutes to play in the first half, leading 21-0. 2 receivers to the right, a single man McCadley here to the near side. Chad Lucier hands it off to Bohanon. Bohanon 30, 25-20, Bohanon 15, Bohanon 10, Bohanon 8-yard line. First down, goal to go for Shaun Bohanon.
You know, I'm not sure if we do Shaun Bohanon justice. I think we kind of take him for granted because I think every single time that he touched the ball, he has the capabilities of going all the way, and it's almost, we take it for granted. But he does such a wonderful job. That time they came out with a little misdirection play, and they'll fake that too and come up with a pass on the other side. A great play in the repertoire of Oak Ridge.
First down, goal to go for the Wildcats officially at the 9-yard line. Harris, Young, Jones, Black, and Dickens on the line for the Wildcats. Handoff will go to Stan Sisk. Sisk at the 5, Sisk to the 3-yard line. It'll be second down, goal to go as Stan Sisk, the fullback, knocking on the door once again for another Oak Ridge score. 4:50 to play first half. It's already 21-0 Oak Ridge.
Very impressive so far, David. And, you know, we talked in one of the breaks, you know, Oak Ridge, I'm sure you probably have this stat, did not score a whole lot of points in the first half, or excuse me, in the first quarter last year. They seemed to really stall in the first quarter. This time they came out, of course, on the first play of scrimmage, scored. They came out with another one, scored once since then, and definitely knocking on the door to score their 4th touchdown of the night.
Up to the line will come Oak Ridge. Chad Lucier from the Ray County 3-yard line. Second down, goal to go. There's movement by the Oak Ridge line. You know, it's kind of interesting this year. Josh Young and John Dickens have moved from the defensive side of the ball to the offensive side of the ball, which is interesting as Oak Ridge is penalized. And with 4:18 to play, the Wildcats will set it up. Mike Gibson comes in at quarterback for the Wildcats. Chad Lucier checks out. Gibson, the starting quarterback from a year ago. He'll pitch to Shaun Bohanon. Bohanon to the 5. Bohanon wants another score. He's not going to get it. He's going to be tackled at the 5. You know, that's an interesting play. Mike Gibson in at quarterback.
You know, it's very interesting. We all knew that he was going to play a little bit, but I don't think anybody expected him to come in and maybe make a toss sweep or something like that. All my eyes were on him. I thought he was going to run it or do some kind of a fake or a little sprint out. But remember, like the David Palmer 2-point conversion, it's kind of what I was thinking of.
3 minutes, 48 seconds to play. Mike stays in at quarterback. He's worked just a little bit at quarterback. Coach Gaddis said just a few plays yesterday in practice, and he ran them to perfection. Third down, goal to go at the 4. Mike will hand it off on the reverse to McCadley. McCadley will score. Touchdown, I believe. No, they're going to say he's down at about the 1-inch line. The Oak Ridge fans can't believe it. It's about a half a length of a football away from a touchdown. It's 4th down, and that little amount for an Oak Ridge score. Mike Gibson comes over to talk with Joe Gaddis, the head coach of the Wildcats. Second quarterback used in the ball game. Chad Lucier got the start. Mike back into the huddle. 3:07 and counting. Inches to go for an Oak Ridge score. Just the nose of the football away from their 4th touchdown here against Ray County in the first half. Up to the line will come the senior quarterback, Mike Gibson, last year's starting quarterback. Will he sneak the ball forward? No, he'll give it to big Stan Sisk, who carries it across for yet another Oak Ridge touchdown. Stan Sisk gives Oak Ridge a 27-0 lead as he carries it across from about, we have to give him a yard, but it was more like an inch, and Oak Ridge leads it 27-0. And into the game once again for the Wildcats will come Granger Marler. He's a perfect 3 of 3 on point afters, and he'll be attempting another extra point. Chad Lucier to hold, John Dickens to snap. 27-0 Oak Ridge. High snap, here's the kick, it's up, this one's straight, and it's true, up and good. Oak Ridge on top 28-0, and we'll be back in 60 seconds. Oak Ridge on top 28-0, and 2 more t-shirts into the stands. Sponsored by AM 1290 WATO. And it'll be Oak Ridge once again to kick off. The ball's on the tee. Granger makes his approach, and he hits it high, long, end-over-end kick, fielded at the 3, to the 5, to the 10, to the 15-yard line, to the 20-yard line. Then he goes down hard, and a big pile up right at around the 18-yard line. It'll be Ray County's offense on the field. And Scott, they're down 28-0 in the first half. If you're Coach Brad Payne, what do you say to your guys?
Well, that's tough. You know, you want to be positive. Of course, it's the first game. It's a non-regional game for them. 28 points. This is the Ray County. They've been around long enough. These guys aren't going to give up. They're not going to fold in their tents. I'm sure they'd like to get they've got 2 minutes and 40 seconds. I'm sure they'll probably work their 2-minute drill and would like to get maybe at least 3 points on the scoreboard before halftime.
It'll be first down, 10 yards to go. Ryan Sharp drops back to pass across the way. The pass is complete, and Brad Redmond, there's a fumble on the play, or was it an incomplete pass? Immediately he went down. Ryan Sharp still in at quarterback. There was a big stick by Redmond. They're going to say it's a complete pass. Obviously, he recovered it. It'll be a gain of about 3 on the play. Second down and 7 yards to go. 2:20 to play in the first half. 28-0. Oak Ridge on top. Into the game now for the Wildcats, as Oak Ridge, I'm sure, is going to get a lot of players in tonight. The way this one has gone, Travis Whitson comes into the game for Oak Ridge. Sharp back to pass. Jared Carell pressures him. Here's a pass. Almost intercepted at the 25-yard line. I think it might have been Altman who had his hands on it. Jamil Dye was around there as well. It'll be third down and about 7 yards to go. 2:03 to play. We're in the first half. 28-0 Oak Ridge.
Yeah, it was an outstanding play by that time by Altman. The quarterback threw the ball a little high, and the receiver was there and actually had his back turned. I don't think he knew it was coming. Jason Altman actually got hit right as he was getting the ball. I think he would have had that for an interception.
Third down and 7 yards to go. The Wildcats looking at a shotgun formation. The pass across the way is complete for a first down. They just have no speed at all. The man who caught the pass was Christopher Swafford. He just made the catch and was just ready to get blasted. And indeed, first down, a fine play that time. They found the wide open man. The ball's at the 35, and a no-huddle offense for the Golden Eagles. They'll come to the line, 4 receivers in the pattern, and it's first down, 10 yards to go. Minute 55 to play first half, 28-0, the Wildcats lead. From the shotgun, Sharp back to pass. Here comes some pressure. The pass is deflected and dropped. On a deflection, could have been caught at around the 46-yard line, but it wasn't, and it's second down and 10.
Yeah, the quarterback does a very good job. He has a lot of composure for him being a sophomore. I don't know if they're freshman play. I don't know if he played any last year, but he has a lot of composure back there. It seems like he sees the field very well. I expect some big things out of him in the next couple of years.
Up to the line will once again come the Golden Eagles. Second down, 10 yards to go. Shotgun formation, second down at 10. Sharp will pass across the way. The pass, boom! What a stick! Joe Gaddis Jr. just leveled his man Steven Sapp, and what a knock by Joe Gaddis Jr.
Oh, that was great, David. They ran a little out. Looked like that was a tight end, maybe even been the fullback, and Joe Gaddis timed it perfectly, had an outstanding step. The receiver actually had the ball for about a half a second, and then Joe just plastered it out.
Third down, 10 yards to go for the Golden Eagles, a minute 42 to play, and the Wildcats could get their hands on the ball one more time. They're already up 28-0 here in the second quarter. Up to the line will come the Golden Eagles. The standing student section of the Oak Ridge High School down in front of us have been on their feet since the beginning of the game. Ray County trailing. Third down, 10 yards to go from the 37-yard line. They're moving from left to right. Men in motion here to the near side. That's Congeloso. Sharp back to pass. Across the middle, the pass is complete. And they pick up a first down at midfield. Bell Brock on the stop, but another fine reception by the Golden Eagles, and their drive continues with a minute 34 to play in the first half. 28-0 Oak Ridge. And now play is going to be halted. Timeout call by Ray County. Let's take one ourselves. We'll be back in 60 seconds. First down and 10. Quarterback Sharp in trouble. Fires the pass. It's incomplete. Big stick laid on the quarterback by John Dickens, who came in hard. Had to rush his pass just a little bit. It stops the clock at a minute 30 to play in the first half. 28-0. Oak Ridge on top. Dale McBroom is in the ball game, the crime dog, along with let's see, a couple of other players in the game, as Dale McBroom is the rush in here on the near side. The secondary looks like it's the same. Bell Brock, Gaddis, Altman, and Gibson back there. Once again, quarterback Sharp, this time under center. Second down and 10. Handoff on the draw. He moves the ball to the 45-yard line. Not much more than that. He's tackled at the 44 by the Wildcats. stop is made by, let's see, he'll turn around Jamil Dye. It'll be 3rd down, 7 yards to go. 1:15 and counting in the first half, 28-0. No huddle offense for Ray County. This time from the shotgun. Fumble on the play, recovered at the 47-yard line. It'll be 4th down now facing Ray County. 1:02 to play, and the punt unit will come onto the field. I guess with the score already 28-0, you might have seen the Wildcats call a timeout right there because they're going to get the ball back and get a little extra time to run the offense. But I think they'll be very content to go into the locker room up at least 4 scores. In fact, they're not even going to send anybody. Now Mike Gibson will drift off back to receive the kick. 4th down and 9, low snap. Here's the kick. Wobbly kick, angling towards the Ray County stands, and indeed it goes over towards their stands, and Oak Ridge will take over. 1st down, 10 yards to go, 33 seconds to play in the first half. 28-0 Oak Ridge. I'm going to do an interview at halftime. Ralph Purnell, a former Wildcat who played for Oak Ridge back in 1951, 52, and 53, and was the captain of the 1953 team and was all-state tackle. He'll be up to talk with me here in a few short moments. 28-0 our score. Up to the line will come the Wildcats. Bellbrock to the right side. Jason McCanley here to the near side. Up to the line from the I. 1st down and 10. Chad Lucier pumps once. Goes across the way to McCanley. Down the sideline, the pass is overthrown. It's incomplete. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 10 facing the Wildcats with 28 seconds to play in the first half.
It kind of surprises me that Oak Ridge came out throwing the ball, David. With a 28-point lead going into halftime, I kind of thought they would maybe run Bohanon on a couple of sweeps and see what he could do, but they came out with the Chad Lucier throwing the ball, actually throwing it deep, so it kind of surprises me.
2nd down, 10 yards to go, 28-0 our score. We're live here at Blankenship Field, Jack Armstrong Stadium, as the Wildcats come to the line from the I once again. Receivers to the left and to the right. 3 men on the line for the Golden Eagles. The pitch will go to Shaun Bohanon, 35. Gets a block to the outside. He goes 40, 45, 50, 45, 40. Cuts back inside 35. He'll break it to the outside and score! Shaun Bohanon, 15, 10, 5, all the way for the score! Shaun Bohanon goes 66 yards and his 4th touchdown, I believe, of the ball game. Shaun Bohanon, what a run, and Oak Ridge leads 34-0. 13 seconds to play first half.
Unbelievable, David. You know, we brought that up last. You know, they did that a lot last year in a situation like this. Instead of throwing the ball, instead of working the 2 minutes, they just give Bohanon the ball. And you know, he's got the speed and got all the tools, and that's exactly what happened. About the 25-yard line, there was a couple people in front of him, made an outstanding cutback across the field. Nobody was going to catch him. Granger
Marler to attempt the extra point. The ball is down. The kick is up. 5 for 5 in the ball game is Granger Marler, and Oak Ridge leads 35-0. WATO, it's 35-0. Oak Ridge on top. Shaun Bohanon, 199 yards in the first half. Here's a fumble with 10 seconds to play. 199 yards in the first half for Shaun Bohanon as the return man goes out of bounds. And Bill Brock and a little bandstand have a collision on the sideline, along with number 25 for them, the man who returned it, Tyrone Cooper. 4 seconds to play in the first half. 35-0 Oak Ridge. 199 yards in the first half for Shaun.
Unbelievable. You know, I'm sure we're going to talk about him a lot this season, but you can't help 199 yards in the first half. He's only carried the ball maybe, Mark, 10 or 12 times, and 11 times for 199 yards. That's very, very strong.
Lee Younger has come into the ball game, so all 3 of the coaches' sons have gotten into the ball game. Jason Altman is in there, Joe Gaddis, Mike Gibson, looks like the same secondary, but Lee Younger is now a rush in here on the right side. Final play of the first half, the running back is Tyrone Cooper. Cooper is going to be tackled, I believe, at the 34-yard line. Indeed, he finally does go down. Jamil Dye. And what a first half of football, and it deserves a standing ovation from the Oak Ridge fans, and they are on their feet as the Wildcats go to the locker room, up 35-0 over perennial power Ray County. It'll be Oak Ridge to kick off. Granger Marler with the ball on the tee. Oak Ridge up 35-0, and the second half is underway. There's a knuckleball fielded by Ray County at the 5 to the 10, 15-yard line, 20, 25-yard line before the stop is made by the Wildcats. Number 21, Gary Alexander for Oak Ridge. It'll be first down, 10 yards to go for Ray County. And I asked Mr. Purnell, what do you tell your team when you're down 35-0? And really, there's nothing much you can say except, just go out there and play hard. And maybe something will happen. Just don't give up.
Yeah, that's tough, David. I don't think I've ever been down 35 points at halftime, and I hope none of these Oak Ridge teams are ever down that much. I think you're right. You just tell them, hey, let's go work on some things. Let's put some points on the board, and you never know.
Up to the line will come the Golden Eagles. Their quarterback still Ryan Sharp, number 16, man in motion here to the near side. From the eye, they'll come. First down, 10 yards to go. Handoff goes to the tailback out of the eye. He moves the ball forward for a gain of a couple of yards. Brad Redmond there for the stop. Brad Redmond was the leading tackler a year ago, and the way he started this ball game, he'll probably win that title for the second consecutive year. He's an outstanding, very fundamentally sound ball player, like all his brothers were as well, in whatever sport they played.
Absolutely. The Redmond family is, from Jamie to I guess his other brother Scotty, the athlete, and some of the numbers that all three of those now have put up in different sports. A phenomenal athletic family.
Second down, 9 yards to go. Sharp will pass, rolling to his left down the way. The pass is complete, and there's a big stick by the Wildcats. Big hit by Mike Gibson. Very close to a first down. I think he'll be about a half a yard short. That'll bring up third down and a yard to go. And the ball is just across the 30. They're going to say it's first down, 10 yards to go. My angle was bad. I guess maybe it's time to put the glasses on. But it'll be first down, 10 yards to go. The ball at the 37-yard line. 11 minutes to play, third quarter, 35-0. Only 4 home games this year. We'll be on the road next week at Farragut. What a big crowd here tonight, as we alluded to a moment ago. 2 receivers here to the near side. Quarterback Sharp to the tailback, and there's a big stick right at the line of scrimmage. Somebody came in quickly for the Wildcats. It looked like, let's see, Rocky Remind for the stop. It'll be, let's see, second down, then about 10 yards to go. 4 touchdowns in the ball game for Shaun Bohanon and 199 yards on the ground. Outstanding first half for Oak Ridge, and they've rolled 35 points up on the scoreboard. 10:25 and counting, third quarter. Ray County second down and 10. Once again, they'll have 2 receivers here to the near side. Backfield split this time. Sharp will roll to his right. Pitch it to his tailback, who's hit and dropped once again by Oak Ridge. And another fundamentally sound tackle by number 11, Brad Redmond.
Brad Redmond just flows so well from sideline to sideline. Is he not playing middle linebacker? Is he still playing outside linebacker? I'm not really sure. But he gets the ball very well. Just has a great knowledge of where the ball is going to be, a good feel for the ball, and also a very good open field tackler.
I believe he's an outside linebacker. Rocky Remind's the middle linebacker. And Jamil Dye is the other outside backer. 4-man front Oak Ridge. Shotgun, third down and 8 for Ray County. Quarterback Sharp back to pass. Across the middle, pass is incomplete. Redmond, along with Dye, Remind, Altman, and Brock back defending for the Wildcats. And Ray County will be forced to punt. Mike Gibson will drop back to receive the kick. 35-0 Oak Ridge, 9:36 to play, third quarter. Stay tuned. At the conclusion of the game, we'll have player interviews down on the field. Coach Joe Gaddis up in the booth with us. We'll also have Mark Haste and his statistics. And following all that, we'll have scores of other ball games and, of course, the Nathan Forbes highlight show at the conclusion of tonight's broadcast. Fourth down, 8 yards to go for Ray County. They're moving from left to right, punting for the first time here in the second half. Punt is away, wobbly kick, not very long this time. Will take a good bounce, but Mike will field it at the 30. Bounces off a couple tackles, down the sideline 40, 45, cuts to the outside 50, down he goes to the 47-yard line. Great effort by Mike Gibson. He was hit a number of times, stayed on his feet, and moves the ball inside once again to Ray County territory. First and 10 Wildcats.
Another exciting punt return that time by Mike Gibson. He caught the ball. It was a horrible kick. It took several bounces before he got it, and got the old Sunday hop right in his gut. Took the ball upfield, spun a couple times, had a great cutback, and really guy came from back behind him to tackle him, or that would have probably been 6 points.
Ray County on defense. Shaun Bohanon's in at tailback. Stan Sisk, the fullback. Lucier at quarterback. Chad will pass down the way to Mike Gibson. The pass is incomplete. And it might be offensive pass interference. Might be number 10 hit him, bumped him, and that is Brian Huffstetler, and that'll be a penalty against the Golden Eagles. All I could see was Gibson, and I noticed because he was kind of towering over their player, and indeed the officials are talking about it. Shoemaker is the referee. He says pass interference, Ray County. 9:16 to play. We're in the third quarter. 35-0 Oak Ridge on top.
Yeah, I think there's no doubt then Chad Lucia just came out and had a great, actually a wonderful throw. The defender got there way early, and there's no way in the world that Mike Gibson, even the athlete that he is, was going to get that ball.
From the 32-yard line, the Wildcats first down, 10 yards to go. Velbrock is receiver to the far right, right in front of the Ray County bench, across the way the stunned Ray County bench. Mike Gibson here to the near side. Oak Ridge from the eye, double tight end set. Lucier to Stan Sisk, 30 to the 28-yard line, just tripped up, or Stan might have gone for his second score of the night.
Yeah, it makes you see how much they're going to use Shaun Bohanon. You know, I would not think they would use him after this series here. It's always good to bring him in, to bring your starters in at halftime, because, you know, obviously they're going to have to do that 11 or 15 or however many times in a year. Even when you have a lead like this, I think it's good to you know, once let them cool down, let them warm back up again, just to see how they're going to do. So I wouldn't expect him to play a whole lot after this series.
Lucier under center, second down, about 6 yards to go, and Chad will pass across the way, pass to complete to Jason McAdley. He moves the ball to the 21-yard line. That should be enough for a first down. The second reception, I think, of the night for the tight end. And Coach Gaddis, we were talking about this morning and on our pregame show. Jason McAdley represents a totally different kind of tight end. He doesn't have the size like Lloyd Jones. He's kind of like Roy Howard, but he's so much quicker. This is the fastest tight end that Coach Gaddis has had.
Absolutely, and he's got great speed. You know, and you think about Roy Howard, you know, there's not going to be many of those guys come along, but he's had 3 receptions for 53 yards and has done a wonderful job at tight end. You know, especially he's got great speed.
First and 10, there's movement across the line again by Ray County. I think it's the same guy, number 40. He's been across twice in this game. Oak Ridge on top, 35-0. They really, now they're pointing towards Oak Ridge. The Wildcats might have been guilty this time, and that is the case, Shoemaker says. And it'll be a 5-yard step off against the Wildcats. Are you surprised that Oak Ridge has dominated this Ray County team to this point?
You know, you look at them on paper and you say no, but you know, it's first game. You never know what's going to happen in the first game. To come out like this, I mean, I'm sure all the coaches have a lot of smiles on their face. Of course, they're not going to show it, and they probably want to act like it in films, but you can always find something to improve on. That's the wonderful thing about the first game.
First down, 15 yards to go, 8 minutes to play. Chad Lucier on the reverse to Mike Gibson, gets a block, cuts to the outside 25, gets to the sideline 20, 15-yard line, and driven out of bounds hard at around the 13-yard line, and another flag goes down on the play.
Yeah, there was a late flag, and it was maybe a clip or a hold or something. I'm not really sure what that was. It looks like it's going to be against Oak Ridge as they're walking back toward about the 30-yard line.
That's one thing that Coach Gaddis, he likes his teams to play 4 quarters. Scott, I didn't see the call.
But it's a personal foul against Ray County, David.
Was it a late hit? Because it looks like they drove him way out of bounds over there.
The flag was actually thrown around midfield, so I don't think it was a late hit, at least on the Mike Gibson, the ball carrier.
The officials will step the penalty off. Thanks for tuning us in on AM 1290 WATL. We have a full house here at Blankenship Field. Hopefully a lot of these people, hopefully all of these people, will move on over to Farragut next Friday as we have the broadcast of the Oak Ridge Farragut ball game. 7:30 kickoff, 6 o'clock pregame show. We'll hope everybody will tune in. Our interview next week, Joe Caldwell's special guest will be Shaun Bohanon. And hope everybody will tune in at 6 o'clock next week right in front of the Farragut ball game. Play is halted just a moment as the Wildcats get the play in from Joe Gaddis, head coach of the Wildcats. Now in his 9th year. It's hard to believe that he's already been here 9 years as the Wildcats come to the line. First down, goal to go at the 8-yard line. Bohanon has 4 touchdowns. Will he tie his school record with 5? Chad Lucier will pass in the end zone. There's the man. There's the score. Touchdown, Velbrock. The Wildcats put it in on the 8-yard pass reception from Chad Lucier to Velbrock, and Oak Ridge leads 41-0. 7:49 to play in the third quarter.
That was a nice throw that time by Chad Lucier, David. You know, just kind of hopped up, threw the ball down to a little, I'm not necessarily a street because you only got about 15 yards to work with. Wonderful touch on the ball. Velbrock goes up, gets the ball, 6 points. Oak Ridge leads 41-0.
Granger Marler trying to make it 6 for 6 in this ball game. The ball is down. Here's pressure. Here's the kick. It's up, and it is good. Granger boots it through, and another
kicks the ball, fielded, fumbled into the end zone. No, not into the end zone. The receiver carries the ball, tackled, shoestring tackled about the 18-yard line by a host of volunteers. At this time, we still have another complimentary breakfast for 2 from the Chesapeake Bagel Bakery. I have not been there myself, but my wife has been there and said it is fabulous. So whoever gets my attention, and whoever gets my attention up here, number 6, that will be you, for a free breakfast from the Chesapeake Bagel Bakery.
Who did you give it away? I didn't really see. Well, anyway, Ray County's got the ball, first down, 10 yards to go. 42-0 our score from the I. Quarterback Sharp rolling to his left, feeling some pressure from the crime dog, Dale McBroom. He eludes him, and Charlie Graham misses the tackle, and down the field will go the quarterback, and he finally pushed out of bounds. The Wildcats were pressuring him, as I see Rob Barkman's coming into the ball game along with Jason McAdley. Let's see some of the other players coming out. Jamil Dye comes out at linebacker. Barkman replaces him. Also, J.J. Williams comes into the game, number 25, for those of you who have radios down in front. I didn't see who Scott gave that away to, so hopefully we'll have only one winner there, hopefully. As second down and about 2 yards to go. Charlie Graham's in the secondary for the Wildcats. Here comes pressure. Here's a big stick. The pass is incomplete. Boy, their quarterback just got leveled, and he's slow to get up. Ryan Sharp really took a shot. Pass was incomplete. 7:26 to play. We're in the third quarter. 42-0. Oak Ridge all over Ray County, and they're having injury timeout. Fourth down now facing Ray County as the new quarterback is unable to get anything going on that third down play. It's fourth down, 2 yards to go, and Jason Altman is dropping back to receive the kick here at the Oak Ridge 40. 42-0 Oak Ridge. 6:55 to play, third quarter. Fourth down now facing Ray County as the new quarterback is unable to get anything going on that third down play. It's fourth down, 2 yards to go, and Jason Altman is dropping back to receive the kick here at the Oak Ridge 40. 42-0 Oak Ridge. 6:55 to play, third quarter. Here's the snap. Here's the punt. It's away. End over end kick. Jason fields it at the 39 to the 40. Comes off towards the Oak Ridge sideline and is decked by the Golden Eagles, number 30 for them, Marcus Pendergrass. Another flag down on the play. 42-0. The Wildcats on top, and here comes Shaun Bohanon back out there once again at tailback, and I'm kind of surprised really that Shaun's back out there, but he's going to go out for another series. I think the Wildcats, I see Jason Altman's going to come in as a receiver. Surprised they're not bringing in Redmond. To see Kiki Houston coming into the ball game for the Wildcats. He might go in at tailback. I think Shaun might be coming out.
I would think so, David. I know if I was the coaching staff, I wouldn't want Shaun Bohanon out there. He's had a fantastic night, 199 yards, 4 touchdowns, and indeed he is coming out. Should get a big hand.
As Shaun Bohanon comes out of the ball game, and the knowledgeable Oak Ridge fans do give him a round of applause. Also, Jason McAdley out there. Milton is a wide receiver here to the near side. Altman to the far right. Kiki Houston, the sophomore, as the fullback Stan Sisk lost his balance, or he would have gone a lot farther than the 6 or 7 yards that he went, but another fine run for him. Kiki Houston has had 2 scrimmages where he has scored touchdowns of over 80 yards. In both the Maryville and the Powell scrimmage, he has got a lot of speed. Was an outstanding rusher last year for the freshman. He's only a sophomore, got a lot of speed. Watch this kid run. He can really flat out move.
Think we can get him to change his name to Shaun?
Well, if he wants to go by Kiki, that's perfectly fine with me. If he can run like we've seen him in the preseason. Second down and 2. There's movement by Ray County. Again, let's check some of the other numbers in there. I see Altman still in there at receiver. Wildcats also have Kevin Harris. Basically, the line's still intact. Josh Young's down there. Chris Black. Shane Wiseman is in the game, I believe. Chad Lucier still at quarterback. Are you sure that's Wiseman? Casey Jones is in there. First down on the penalty. First down, 10 yards to go from the 34-yard line. 6:05 to play. Oak Ridge Band playing down in front of us, the standing student section. Tyler Harris is in the ball game for the Wildcats from the I. Lucier will pass. Quick pass, Jason Altman, pass incomplete at the 40-yard line. In and out of his fingertips. And it'll be second down, 10 yards to go. 42-0, Oak Ridge on top. And Chad Lucier in the ball game has gone all the way, with the exception of a couple of plays when Mike Gibson actually came in at quarterback. 5 of 9 passing is Chad Lucier for 67 yards. 5:50 to play, third quarter. Up to the line, Darian Milton wide to the right. Jason Altman here wide to left. Wildcats moving from right to left. Pitch will go to Kiki Houston. Houston cuts inside, moves the ball across the 35 to the 36-yard line. The difference between him, and you can immediately see it, between Shaun Bohanon and Kiki Houston, probably about 40 pounds and about 5 inches or so.
Absolutely, but you can tell he's got tremendous quickness. I didn't get a chance to see him. I don't have the rigorous JV and freshman schedule that you have, David. I hadn't seen him play, so I was really excited about it. I know I'd read the papers and heard you on the radio doing them, and absolutely, he's got tremendous quickness, and he's going to be a good one.
Third down and about 7 yards to go. Here's Chad Lucier running across the 35, cuts inside 40, moves the ball down the field, and then is tackled close to a first down, depending on where they spot it. It would be 4th down, and the Wildcats haven't punted yet in the ball game. Jason Altman hasn't had to do any duties such as that. It's going to be short of a first by about a yard. I'd go for it here with 4:53 to play, up 42-0. Why punt here? Because Ray County hasn't demonstrated the ability to move the ball. Why not keep the offense? But Chad Lucier and Coach Gannis want to talk about it, so we'll take a timeout. 40 again will come. Oak Ridge is taking over at quarterback, and Shaun Bohanon is back at tailback. They're going for it on 4th down. Stan Sisk gets the call, and he picks up a first down on second effort at the 45-yard line. It was interesting that Mike came back in at quarterback.
Well, it's also interesting that Shaun Bohanon came back at tailback. We were all guessing what was going to happen. We all thought it was going to be either a quarterback sneak, some kind of a rollout, a fake, a reverse. But none of us guessed the trap, so I guess we all lose.
First down, 10 yards to go at the Oak Ridge 45-yard line. 4:35 to play third quarter. It's been all Oak Ridge since the first play of the game. A 58-yard run by Shaun Bohanon with 11:42 to play in the first quarter. It's been all Oak Ridge. Shaun has 4 touchdowns in the game. Bill Brock and Stan Sisk the other 2. One on a reception from Chad Lucier. First down, 10 yards to go, Oak Ridge. Kiki Houston back in at tailback. Chad Lucier under center, and he'll hand it off on the reverse to Darian Milton at the 45, to the 50-yard line. Darian at the 45. Down he goes to the 42-yard line of Ray County. First down, 10 yards to go. Darian Milton is a guy who has great athletic ability. He's a member of the Oak Ridge basketball team that went to the state tournament last year. Darian has excellent athletic ability, and he carries for another Oak Ridge first down.
That play was very, very well set up. They had the ball on the wide side, or came back to the wide side of the field, faked the sweep or faked the little handoff, came back with a reverse. There for about 8 yards or so, there was absolutely nobody around him anywhere. It looks like the free safety came up and made a very good, very fine open field tackle to bring him down on the 40-yard line.
That's the 18th first down of the game for the Wildcats. First down, 10 yards to go. Chad Lucier, the quarterback, from the 41-yard line. Chad will hand it off to his tailback, Houston. Houston across the 35, down to the 30-yard line. Picks up about 10 yards on the carry. Kiki Houston, a sophomore, carries the ball to the Ray County 31. 3:43 and counting. It's been all Oak Ridge. 42-0 the score. Stan Sisk is now out of the ball game. I guess we have a new fullback. Probably Jamil Dye, but I didn't see the man go into the game. Chad's still in at quarterback. Houston is the tailback, and we'll see who the fullback is here in a second when they line it up. Up to the line of scrimmage will come the Wildcats, and Barton Bailey is the fullback. Barton Bailey, the fullback, Kiki Houston, the tailback. 2 receivers to the right side. Chad Lucier, 2nd and 1, hands it off to Barton. Barton picks up a first down as he moves the ball across the 30-yard line down to the 29. Barton Bailey had an outstanding preseason, has earned himself some playing time, and he picks up a first down.
That's a very good, very fine play to pick up the first down. Had a little assist from his tackle, Josh Young. Right as he was going down, Josh kind of gave him a little elbow to maybe give him another half an inch or so.
We're on AM 1290 WATO and Tennessee Cablevision Channel 12 tonight. Gary Alexander's a receiver to the far right, along with Bill Brock. Chad Lucier on the reverse this time to Darian. Darian 30, 25, 20. Pushed out of bounds at around the 19-yard line. The second carry of this drive for Darian Milton, and the Wildcats continue to roll up the yardage.
The exact same play that Milton had earlier, David. I expect them sometime in this drive, I don't know if in this drive, but maybe the next one, that they're going to come have that same play, fake the reverse, and then have Chad or the quarterback, whoever it may be, roll out to the right and maybe have some kind of little dump pass off of that.
42-0, Oak Ridge on top. 2:44 to play, third quarter. Up to the line. Here come the Wildcats once again. Darian Milton to the far right. Gary Alexander here to the near side. The Wildcats are loaded, ladies and gentlemen. Chad Lucier, handoff. Barton Bailey. Not a lot of yards this time for Barton. And it'll be, let's see, close to a first down. He needed about a foot. He moved the ball about, I don't know, a foot, a little bit less. It'll be, let's see, third down for the Wildcats at the 19-yard line. 2:23 and counting here in the third quarter. Third down, less than a yard to go. Chad's gone all the way at quarterback. Chad Lucier, senior, he has earned his position as quarterback. He is the son of the defensive coordinator, but Chad has earned this. He told us on the pregame show that he's been working for this all his life to be the starting quarterback for the Oak Ridge Wildcats, and he so far had a victory last year in his first start against Campbell County, and he's going to go 2-0 tonight.
Well, you talk about somebody who's absolutely grown up with Oak Ridge football. I guess he came here, like we said earlier, he was, he couldn't have been more than 4 or 5 or so years old. He was too young then to do anything, but I know, probably for years and years was a ball boy here, ran balls back and forth, and now, he's seen a lot of great players, and, probably knows every one of them personally, and they all know him. Now here he is starting quarterback for Oak Ridge. It's got to be a big thrill for him.
Handoff Kiki Houston. He's at the 15 down to the 12-yard line, running behind the blocking of Shane Wiseman for the Wildcats. Let's see some other numbers in there. I see, let's see, Kevin Harris still in the ball game for the Wildcats. Tyler Harris is in the ball game as a receiver. 1:21 and counting, 42-0 our score. Remember, we'll have player interviews at the conclusion of the broadcast. Coach Joe Gaddis, our statistics and the highlights following when we go off the air from Blankenship. Second down, 5 yards to go. Chad Lucier from the Ray County 13 hands it off to Houston. Houston to around the 10-yard line. I tell you, his strength is getting to the outside, and so far he has to grind out his yardage. I tell you, though, to those of you who haven't seen him when he breaks free, he is explosive. Just hasn't been able to get loose so far in this one.
Oh, that'll come. He's definitely, he's playing. I'm kind of surprised to see that it looks like all the the offensive line's still in. I'm sure the coaches really want, since they were young coming in, they just wanted to get them a lot of work. Go back and look at film and see what they need to do to evaluate. But so far, the offensive line has done a wonderful, outstanding job on making some big holes for Kiki Houston, Stancis, Bohanon, and the rest of the game.
Chad Lucier will hand it off once again to one of his backs who moves the ball to the 10-yard line. I didn't know if that was Darium this time. I guess it was. He moves the ball to the 10. It's going to be 4th down and about 4 yards to go as I see Mike Ray and Jared Tharp, backup quarterbacks, warming up down in front of us. We're down to 12 seconds to play in the third quarter. They'll not get another playoff. Oak Ridge on top, 42-0, and we'll be back in 90 seconds. Chad Lucier brings his team up. They need about 5 yards for a first. Kiki Houston and Barton Bailey the backfield. 4th down and 5. Chad rolls to his right, has some time. It breaks down, wants to pass. There's a man in the end zone. The pass is incomplete. Pass intended for Gary Alexander, and Ray County will take over on downs. First down, 10 yards to go, 11:54 to play in the ball game.
That's the first time that Oak Ridge has turned the ball over on downs in this game. They have not yet had the punt. Very, very strong outing for the Oak Ridge offense, David.
Ray County will take over deep in their own territory. Let's see, J.J. Williams, Charlie Graham, Jason Altman in the secondary, along with one other Wildcat. Looks like McCadley. Dale McBroom's in the ball game, along with Oak Ridge's number 65, Travis Whitson. I see number 19, Tim Miner, Jeff Miner's younger brother, in the ball game. Number 2, Chanson Hall coming into the game now for Jason McCadley. Number 78, Chris Atkinson is in the ball game. Tyler Harris coming into the ball game. Altman coming out. As Ray County comes to the line, looks like as well Lee Younger's in there, and as I mentioned, Dale McBroom. Quarterback, Sharp back in the ball game. Handoff goes to the 15-yard line before the stop is made by Travis Whitson, number 65. He moves the ball to around the 15-yard line. Over 350 yards of total offense for the Wildcats, and Oak Ridge's Chris Hood is in the game as well for the Oak Ridge team. A 42-0 our score. The Wildcats headed for victory number 1. Oak Ridge went 11-1 last year. Knocked off Ray County. They've never lost to Ray County. They'll go 6-0 against the Golden Eagles, and I'll be surprised. Well, we'll just see if they're on the schedule again next year. It's a re-up year. Quarterback Sharp hands it off. Good running run across the 20 to the 23-yard line. Should be enough for a first down, or at least very, very close to it. It'll be the officials looking at it and signaling first down, 10 yards to go for Ray County.
Speaking of the regions or redoing the games next year, are the regions set for a while, or is there a possibility that they could change once again maybe next year?
Yes, well, as soon as there's a possibility of that, especially if the private schools have to go to their own different section. That is indeed a possibility, and we'll know of that in January, I believe. Sharp back to receive, or go back for a pass. The pass is picked off and dropped by Chanson Hall at around the 45-yard line. Chanson had an opportunity to pick it off, Last night in the freshman ball game, Oak Ridge picked off 2 touchdowns or interceptions and returned them both for scores. Kind of an exciting night. In the freshman game, incidentally, one of these kind of ball games that you probably would have liked to have been to. 43-31, Oak Ridge won over Clinton.
Well, it was 37-6 or something like that at one point, though, wasn't it, David? It was...
Right. Then they allowed everybody got a chance to play last night. The freshman plays on Thursday night. Sharp rolling to his right, 25-30 to the 35-yard line. Rob Barkman and one other Wildcat tripped him up first. I think Chanson Hall once again. It'll be first down, 10 yards to go. 10:35 to play in the ball game. Oak Ridge Wildcats had not scored since the 7:49 mark of the third quarter. That was a Chad Lucier to Vel Brock score. Shaun Bohanon has 4 touchdowns in the ball game, and Stan Sisk has a touchdown as well. Ray County moving from right to left here in the 4th and final quarter. 42-0 Oak Ridge on top. Quarterback Sharp hands it off to his tailback, who moves the ball for a gain of about 2 or 3 yards. Charlie Graham takes down Sharp in the backfield and continues to jaw with Charlie Graham, who just walks back to the Oak Ridge defensive huddle.
David, getting back to the regions, I think that they voted on the private school, and I thought that they voted that the private schools did have to play in their own league or region, or was that just in the playoffs, or how was that going to work?
All season long, they can play outside, but their region will be set up just for private schools, and it's only those private schools which give financial scholarships. There's a nice crisp pass complete into Oak Ridge territory to number 1, Torrey White, at the 45-yard line. The thing was most impressive about that, he was feeling a lot of pressure when he released that pass, and it's a first down.
That was a very nice pass, a little post route, picked up a big first down, one of the few that they've had, 17 yards straight down the gut.
Matt Hudson comes into the game now. McBroom checks out for the Wildcats. First down, 10 yards to go from the 45-yard line of Oak Ridge. 9:30 to play in the game. 42-0 Oak Ridge. Quarterback Sharp hands it off to his tailback, who tries to get around the end, slips and falls, and goes down at the 45-yard line. Charlie Graham along with Tim Miner out there, Rob Barkman, J.J. Williams all around the stop. Looks like 78's in the ball game. Chris Atkinson, Tyler Harris, number 7. He's a transfer from Central. Lee Younger is in the ball game, and as I mentioned, there are 3 coaches' sons on this particular team. Lee Younger, Joe Gaddis, and Chad Lucier, and Coach Mike Stevens, his son, is on the freshman team. So 4 in the program. Sharp back to pass. Here's the pass across the middle. Pass complete. Tripped up at the last moment by the Wildcats, or he might have gone farther than the 32-yard line. It'll indeed be a first down. White once again on the reception, and now they started this drive way back inside the 10, and they've now moved it to the Oak Ridge 32.
That's a very impressive drive. It's unfortunate for them. It was down 42 points. They've come out, they've run the ball very, very unsuccessfully. I think, at halftime they had 10 yards, and they probably couldn't have any more than that now, but they've been very successful, at least in this drive, throwing the ball, and mainly just a little post routes, little 10-yard, 10, 12-yard post routes.
First down, 10 yards to go for the Golden Eagles. Backfield split behind Sharp. He'll still a little shovel pass to number 19, who's tripped up at the 31-yard line. On the carry was Terrence Roberts. The tackle is made by Chris Atkinson. 8:09. The clock is ticking down. 42-0 Oak Ridge on top. We'll have scores of other games across the state. Later on, at the conclusion of our broadcast, we'll have statistics from Mark Haste. We'll have the highlight show from Nathan Forbes back at the station. And Scott Munger will go down the Blankenship Field to interview some players down on the field. Coach Gaddis will be up here to talk with me as well. Second down and 8. Sharp at the 30. Dropping back. Feeling pressure. Feeling bodies in his face. Feeling turf in his face. He's sacked. The Wildcats knock him down to the ground. Travis Whitson there for the sack. And it'll be third down and long. 7.5 minutes to play in the ball game. 42-0 our score. The ball is at the 37-yard line. Last time we were in here for a scrimmage, that noise came up, kind of a buzzing noise, and these killer bugs went flying into our booth. And I think they're locust-type bugs. Third down and 5. And that the biology lesson is over. Here's a pass incomplete. J.J. Williams defending for the Wildcats. J.J. Williams, incidentally, is Shaun Williams' younger brother, former running back at Oak Ridge High School. Fourth down, 17 yards to go for the Golden Eagles. 7:03 to play in the game. 42-0 our score. Kevin Kruzinski is in the ball game for the Wildcats. And let's see. Fourth down and long. Ray County has to go for it here. I mean, why not? You're down 42-0. You might as well get some things accomplished. Sharp under center, 5 men on the line for Oak Ridge. 4th down, 16 yards to go from the shotgun. Sharp back to pass. Lobs it up. Tyler Harris is down there defending. The pass is complete to White. He might score, and he does. Touchdown, Ray County. So the Ray County Golden Eagles have something to cheer about. A 37-yard touchdown reception, and they have their first points on the board. 42-6 our score.
That was a nice long catch, David. I'm not sure who the defender was. Somebody made the break on the ball. Probably thought they could have had an interception. It maybe just went right over his hands. The receiver got it, made a little spin, and then, made a great effort to get the ball across the goal line. Fine run catch and run after the catch.
And they'll go for the extra point. 6:52 to play in the ball game. Some of the fans heading back home. Ball is down, the kick is up, and the kick is good.
Nathan Forrest back in the studios. AM 1290 WATO got an update on the Powell-Farragut game, and the third is still 10-3 Powell over Farragut. Back to you, David.
Thanks a lot. We're live here at Blankenship Field on AM 1290 WATO. And it'll be with 6:51 to play in the ballgame. The Oak Ridge offense coming back out on the field. Quarterback will be Mike Ray for his first snaps at quarterback. Tonight we've seen Mike Gibson and Chad Lucier behind center. Mike Ray will come into the game for Oak Ridge. Mike is a 5'9", 160-pound senior, was the starting quarterback his sophomore year at the junior varsity level. Broke his collarbone in the Lincoln County scrimmage back in May, but he's the quarterback for the Wildcats now. Up to the line with Barton Bailey at fullback and Kiki Houston at tailback, and it's Houston with the call. He slips and falls and will lose 2 or 3 yards on the play. It'll be 2nd down and about 13 yards to go. Some of the fans beginning to file out. Next week we'll be at Farragut as the Wildcats take on the Farragut Admirals. 7:30 kickoff. Pre-game coverage begins at 6 o'clock with Joe Caldwell's interview of Shaun Bohanon. Mike Ray will direct his team from the Oak Ridge 48-yard line, 6:25 and counting, 42-7. Oak Ridge on top, headed for win number 1 here in 1996. Ray with 2 receivers to the left, movement by the Oak Ridge line, and it'll be a 5-yard step off against the Oak Ridge team. Scores of interest at the conclusion of the game. Scott Munger will have interviews down on the field. Coach Joe Gaddis will be here. We'll hope everybody will stay tuned for that. Beautiful night for football. A great crowd on hand here at Blankenship Field, and a very pleasant game to watch. When you're up 42-7 with about 6 minutes to go, it's been a good night.
It's been a very good night, especially, you think about how this game started. They got a great kickoff return. Shaun Bohanon goes, and, after that, they're off to the races. And it's great to see all these, I'd say they'll get the majority of their players in this game tonight.
2nd down, 18 yards to go. Mike Ray wants to pass. There's the man. It's Chanson Hall. Pass is caught. What a catch! Chanson Hall with a circus catch at around the 42-yard line. What a great catch by Chanson Hall.
Oh, David, that was absolutely a wonderful catch. He dove with his right hand and really didn't look like he had a prayer for it, but he brought it in and it ended up twisting it and bringing it in with his left hand. Got a big ovation. A wonderful, wonderful catch.
1st down, 10 yards to go, an 18-yard completion from Mike Ray to Chanson Hall. The Wildcats with number 36, Adrian Hill, drifting off to the left side. The Wildcats from the I. 1st and 10, 5:38 to play from the Lincoln County, the Ray County 40. There's movement across the line again by the Wildcats. That's going to cost them 5. What a catch by Chanson Hall. That is the best, most acrobatic catch I've seen in a number of years.
Absolutely. It's amazing that he caught that ball. He, like I said, when he dove, he looked like he was just going to maybe get a hand on it and not a chance to get it. But then when he absolutely came down with it, the players, the coaches, they went berserk. A wonderful catch.
From the 45-yard line, the 5-yard step off against Oak Ridge. It'll be Hill and Chanson Hall wide to the left side. Oak Ridge from the I once again. Mike Ray from the 45-yard line. The center for the Wildcats. Here's the reverse to Chanson. Chanson is going to go down, and he'll lose about a yard or 2 on the play. The center for the Wildcats is Matt Hudson, 6'2", 205-pound junior. Also in the game for the Wildcats, Chris Hood for Oak Ridge. Number 69, Jared Carrell. Adrian Hill still in the ball game for the Wildcats. Mike Ray at quarterback. And he has the play. It was a loss. It'll be 2nd down and about 16 yards to go. 4:50 in the ball game. 42-7 Oak Ridge on top. Barton Bailey the fullback. Kiki Houston the tailback. Mike under center from the 46-yard line of the Golden Eagles. Moving from left to right here in the fourth quarter. Ray will pass across the way, intended for Adrian Hill. Pass was incomplete. Third down and 16 yards to go.
Yeah, it's also good to see that Jared Carell is back in. He went down with an injury right before halftime, but he is playing, it looks like, right offensive tackle right now, so it's good to see him back.
Stay tuned. We'll have the interviews at the conclusion of tonight's broadcast from the field. Player interviews. Coach Joe Gaddis will have scores of other games, and we'll have the highlights at the end of the game, and Mark Hayes and his statistics and a scoring summary. Third down 16 for Oak Ridge. Mike, here's movement now by Ray County. That's about the fourth or fifth time number 40, Aubrey Sally, has jumped across the line, and that'll cost them 5 yards. It'll be about third down and about 11 yards to go.
Well, you wonder how many times you can do that, especially when you're playing nose guard. I mean, your face is about 6 inches from the ball, and I don't know how in the world you can't see the ball from right there.
Now the ball is at the 41-yard line. Chanson Hall drifting off to the left side. New man here to the right as a wide receiver. Might be John Massey. Oak Ridge from the eye. Third down and 11. The pitch will go to Kiki Houston. Cuts inside 40. Cuts to the outside 35. To the 30. To the 25. 20. Kiki Houston will score. Touchdown Oak Ridge. Kiki Houston scores. And the Wildcats up their lead to 48-7. Kiki Houston is first varsity touchdown.
Very impressive run, David. It went with a sweep to the left side. It didn't appear to be a whole lot there, and then all of a sudden now the pack, Kiki Houston comes out. We talked about his quickness, but he's also got very, very good speed. Took off down the right sideline. Nobody was going to catch him. First exciting. I'm sure he's very excited when you score your first touchdown for an Oak Ridge Wildcat.
First down, run for picking up the touchdown. A new holder in the ball game, Matt Collins. And let's see who will attempt this extra point. Will it be Daniel Wetzel? I believe it will be. Here's the kick. It's up, and the kick is good. Daniel Wetzel knocks it home. 49-7 Oak Ridge back in 67 our score. 4:03 to play in the ball game. And here's the kick by Daniel Wetzel. He drills it high and drills it long to the 3, to the 5, to the 10, to the 15, to the 20, to the 25, to the 30, to the 35. Finally driven out of bounds and tackled, and a flag goes down on the play. Some pushing and shoving between the Wildcats' Nick Crow and one of the Golden Eagles. On the return is Terrence Roberts. It'll be first and 10 Golden Eagles, 49-7. Oak Ridge on top of 3:54 to play in the ballgame. What a night offensively for the Wildcats.
Yeah, it really has been. I guess the good point in this, for if you're Ray County, they've had a lot of chances to work on their kick receiving teams.
It'll be, let's see, the penalty yardage stepped off against the Wildcats. 49-7 our score, 3:54 to play. We'll have highlights of this ball game. We'll have statistics and player interviews, the Coach Joe Gaddis interview, and I'll recap the scoring as well. And the Golden Eagles come to the line, first and 10, 3:54 to play in the ball game. 49-7 our score. Sharp back to pass. Here's the pass, complete to number 11, and down the field he'll go, moving to the 30, to the 33-yard line. Tackled by Minor, and there on the reception, Jason Antonopoulos, 5'11", 166-pounder. First down, 10 yards to go. Remember, we'll be at Farragut next week, 7:30 kickoff. We'll have the coverage beginning at 6 o'clock. 49-7, Oak Ridge on top. Up to line will come the Golden Eagles. Moving from left to right. From the eye, they'll come. 4 men on the front for the Wildcats. And in motion to the right once again, that's Terrence Williams. Sharp back to pass. Goes down the field long, it's up for grabs. J.J. Williams defending, he lets him make the reception, pushes him out of bounds at the 49-yard line. It'll be first down, 10 yards to go. 3:17 to play in the ballgame. 49-7 our score. Thanks for tuning us in here on AM 1290 WATO. A big turnout of fans for this home opener, the season opener for the Wildcats here in 96. Incidentally, a junior varsity game scheduled for Monday with Ray County has been canceled. Ray County saying they do not have enough players to play Oak Ridge, so there'll be no game on Monday. Sharp hands it off to Roberts. Roberts stutter steps, eludes a couple tackles, and moves the ball to the 48-yard line before Rob Barkman makes the stop, along with number 65, Travis Whitson, for the Wildcats. Second down, 11 yards to go. Younger comes out of the game. Also checking out for the Wildcats, Joseph Bonner. Tyler Harris is in the game. I want to get everybody's name in who's in the ball game. If I haven't called them out, I apologize. 2:45 and counting. 49-7 Oak Ridge. Sharp back to pass. Here's the pass. Incomplete. Off the fingertips of number 11 for them once again. Jason Antonopoulos once again. Third down, 11 yards to go. Mark Case, our statistician. Well, Shaun Bohanon didn't set the school record for most yards in a single game, but he did have an outstanding first half of football. 199 yards and 4 touchdowns. Outstanding night for Shaun Bohanon. Third down, 11 yards to go. 2:39 to play. Shotgun formation. Sharp back to pass. He's hit hard. Here's the pass. Incomplete. J.J. Williams had the opportunity. Another major lick applied this time by Sterner, the transfer from Pennsylvania. He just leveled the quarterback. Sharp has really taken a beating tonight. Fourth down, 11 yards to go. And let's see. I think they're going to call, I thought they were going to step off a penalty, but they did indeed put the ball down at the 49-yard line. 2 minutes, 32 seconds to play. Fourth down and 11 yards to go. The Oak Ridge cheerleaders throwing plastic footballs into the crowd in the upper section and the lower section as well. Shotgun formation, fourth down at 11. Dropping back to pass. Here comes Sharp running for his life once again. Fires a pass, which is, it might be complete, but it's well short of a first down. Heavy pressure once again applied by Travis Whitson. Not good enough for the first down, and Oak Ridge will take over on downs. First down, 10 yards to go. Two minutes, 20 seconds to play. 49-7 our score. The Wildcats of Oak Ridge on top, and Mike Ray comes back in at quarterback. Coming out of the contest, let's see, number 91 who came into the game for the Wildcats, and that's Eric Dottell. I think he's coming out. And Nathan, we're getting people asking for scores, in particular the Farragut game, the Powell game, and the Clinton game. Do you have those scores?
The last update that I had on the Powell-Farragut game was in the third quarter, Powell 10, Farragut 3, and Clinton in the fourth quarter is up 21-0 over Morristown West. Back to you, David.
Thanks a lot. And maybe they'll get those scores on the PA. Here's the pitch to Kiki Houston. Tries to get outside. He turns the corner and is pushed out of bounds near midfield. Then he's driven out hard, and Oak Ridge coach Joe Gaddis wants a personal foul because he was tackled 5 feet out of bounds. But no flag forthcoming. Coach Gaddis working shoemakers here, but not getting the call. It'll be a fine run again by the Wildcat tailback once again. Kiki Houston, who already has a touchdown to his credit, a 41-yarder. And we did have those other scores. So right now, Farragut looks like they're going to lose to Powell, but it looks like Clinton's going to beat Morristown West. 2:13 to play in the ball game. 49-7 the score. Wide receiver off to the left side for the Wildcats, number 87, Kenny Spratling. Single man wide to the right. Kiki Houston, 7 carries, 64 yards. Mike Ray, handoff goes to the fullback, and he is just buried. Big stick by the Golden Eagles on Barton Bailey, and he didn't get it the first down. We're down to 2 minutes to play in the ball game. 49-7 the score. Scott Munger has made his way down from the press box. He'll have player interviews at the conclusion of our broadcast, or after the play-by-play segment is over. The ball's at the 48-yard line. Third down and a yard to go. The Wildcats with 1 minute 43 seconds and counting, leading 49-7. Single receiver to the far left is Justin Dunaway. Single man here to the near side. Oak Ridge from the eye. Mike Gray sticks the ball forward for what would appear to be a first down. So Mike Gray carries indeed for a first down. The Wildcats getting Nick Crow into the ball game as a wideout. We're down to 1 minute 27 to play. First down, 10 yards to go. The ball at the 46-yard line of the Golden Eagles. Travis Whitson still in the ball game. Checking out will come Shane Wiseman. 1 minute 18 to play. The Wildcats have a total of 448 yards of total offense in the ball game. We'll have the complete rundown of the statistics at the conclusion. Wildcats are offsides, and that'll cost them 5 yards. Wildcats got some movement across the line, and indeed a 5-yard step off. 1 minute, 5 seconds to play in the ball game. 49-7 the score. Shaun Bohanon has 4 touchdowns in the game. Stan Sisk had a touchdown. Bill Brock a pass reception. And Kiki Houston a 41-yard score as well. Really surprised at the scoreboard. I thought it would be much closer than this. Ray County totally dominated tonight, and Oak Ridge leads it 49-7. Under a minute to play in the ball game. I formation, Mike Ray from the 49-yard line now of Oak Ridge. The pitch will go to Kiki Houston. Houston cuts back inside, no place to go. He'll be buried in a sea of Golden Eagles wearing their white jerseys with green numerals and gold helmets. They've got a lot of tradition in Ray County, a team that goes to the playoffs year in and year out, but tonight, no match for the Oak Ridge Wildcats, who have annihilated them here at Blankenship Field. Justin Dunaway brings in the play from the sideline, brought through from the head coach of the Wildcats, Coach Joe Gaddis. Out will come Kenny Spratling once again. Justin Dunaway wide to the right side, single man wide to the left side. Barton Bailey and Kiki Houston behind Mike Ray. Final play of the game. Kiki Houston tries to get outside, still on his way. Down the field he goes to the 40-yard line, and that's the final play of the ball game. Pandemonium reigns in the stands as Oak Ridge wins this one 49-7. It was all Oak Ridge from start of the game to the end. The Wildcats scoring in the first quarter on the first play from scrimmage on a 58-yard run by Shaun Bohanon, and from that point on it was all Oak Ridge. 49-7 the final score. Oak Ridge 1-0, Ray County 0-1. Oak Ridge has never lost to Ray County. They're now 6-0 over the Golden Eagles. We're going to take a break. We're live on AM 1290 WATO. Mark Case working on the stats. Scott Munger is down on Blankenship Field. He'll have player interviews. We'll have Coach Joe Gaddis. We'll have scores of other ball games and our scores via the play-by-play highlights. That's all coming up. Why don't we take a break? When we come back, we'll have Scott Munger with player interviews, and that's coming up in 3 minutes. And we're back here at Blankenship Field. David Clary, Mark Hayes in the press box. Scott Munger is down on the field. It looks like he's got the quarterback, Chad Lucier.
Yes, I do, David. I've got Chad Lucier here, starting quarterback for the Oak Ridge Wildcats. Chad, 49-7 against a pretty dang decent Ray County team.
Yeah, we came out like we wanted to. We wanted to get on top of them early, and came out on the first play of the game and scored on a long run by Shaun. And he had many more of those in the first half. He really stepped up like we knew he would. And we had a lot of people step up and play well. The defense played well, kept them out of the end zone till as of late. We did a few things good, a few things bad that we'll have to work on. But overall, I think we looked real good tonight.
Absolutely. Outstanding performance, and the offense looked very well. The defense did great. You come in, your first real game as the starting quarterback. I know you had one last year, at least one you got to prepare all summer for. Tell me about what your thoughts were coming into this game.
I just wanted to do the things that needed to be done. I just wanted to not turn the ball over. Unfortunately, I did that one time, but I just had to get that out of my way. I just had to get those passes down and everything, that one interception. But I just wanted to come in and be solid and be the kind of quarterback that you needed in Oak Ridge. Just wanted to get the ball to a Bohanon or a Gibson, because those guys have those big capabilities like we saw tonight with Bohanon. So I just wanted to come in and be solid, and I may not have done well as I wanted to, but the important thing is that we came out on top at the end.
Absolutely. You know, you come out, I know you had to be nervous, you know, you grew up with Oak Ridge football. I guess you came here in 1981 when your dad came. You were, 5 years old, walking around the weight room, being ball boy. It's got to be a tremendous thrill for you to come up here and start at quarterback for this Oak Ridge team.
Yeah, it's always been my biggest goal. I've worked hard for it ever since I came here. I always wanted to do that, and nothing beats coming down these steps on Friday night knowing you're going out there in front of all those people. And you just got to work hard and do your best, and I set my goals at that, and right now I've achieved them, and I got more now that I'm there. I've got further goals that I'm trying to achieve this season.
I know, you come out, get a good kickoff return. First snap, you run a sweep. Tell me what happened after that.
That got the momentum up real well. We came out the second half and the second series, and they showed us a few different things as far as secondary-wise that we didn't think was going to happen when they came out. And that accounted a little bit for the interception, but that was my fault. I threw a bad pass that play. The receiver was open. I just didn't get him the ball like I need to. And I guess on that play, I wasn't the kind of quarterback I needed to be. But that first play got the momentum rolling, and we just kept it on through the first half.
Well, you come out on your first pass, you throw one over a guy's head. Second pass, you throw an interception. Now, what are you thinking now?
I just got to get it back together. You just got to put those out of your mind, and you just got to stay solid and keep a cool head about you, and can't start pointing fingers or getting upset. And we came out, I threw a touchdown. That was one of my goals. I always wanted to do that in the game or whatever. But the biggest thing is that we won regardless what kind of night I or anybody other individual had.
I know after you settled down a little bit, I know you had a big completion probably about right here where we're standing. I believe it's Jason McCadley. A fine throw, fine touch on the ball, and then, like you said, you got your first touchdown pass. Is that a big thrill?
Yeah, that pass to McCadley, we set that up. That worked out the way we wanted it to, and unfortunately didn't get the run after he caught it, which we would have liked, but we went on down and threw the touchdown pass. And after I relaxed, I played the way I wanted to play when I came out here, and we got the things done we needed to get done.
Great game, Chad. Next week play Farragut. Does that game mean anything to you?
Yeah, Farragut's a big rival, and we always want to beat them pretty good. And we're playing them over there this year. We did there my sophomore year, and we just want to go out and play a good game and come out like we did tonight.
Chad, great game. Thanks. Stan Sis, Stan's starting fullback. Stan, big night again tonight.
Yeah, we did a good job. We came out and did what we needed to do. We were sharp in the first quarter, and we kind of carried over to the second quarter and the third quarter, and finally in the fourth quarter, our JV came in and they looked just as sharp.
Absolutely. The young guys came in and did an outstanding job. You come out, first play from scrimmage. Tell me what happened.
Well, we discussed that play in the locker room. It's 48, our bread and butter. Shaun Bohanon to the right. My lead block, and there you know it. End zone 6 right off the bat.
And I'm sure that's a big momentum builder. You know, the offense looked crisp all night. I'm not exactly sure David's got the numbers. I think it was 428 yards of total offense, and I'd say the majority of that would be on the ground.
Yeah, those are some outstanding numbers. Once our ground game gets established, that'll open up our passing game, and hopefully we'll peak at the right time, and we'll be ready to make a run at the playoffs.
You got Farragut coming up next week. You ever heard of those guys?
Farragut. I'm glad we're playing over there. I like the atmosphere.
It's a lot of fun to be over there. Stan, great game. Joe Gaddis, got Joe Gaddis Jr. here. Joe, of course, is Coach Gaddis' son. Joe, another fine performance.
Yeah, we did pretty good. I like how we jumped out front pretty early. We haven't done that in the last few years, and hope we do that every game.
You know, I was really kind of disappointed that you come out, the first kickoff you have after the touchdown, you kick it off on about their 45-yard line. I didn't get a good chance to see you go down the field.
Yeah, I didn't like that. I mean, everybody pretty much knew it was going to go in the end zone. I didn't have a chance to bust the wedge up. It was kind of a letdown. But I got the wedge after a while.
There you go. I know you had a huge stick over here, probably about the 40 or so yard line, got through the ball, and you were right there. Tell me about that play.
Well, they just ran a little bootleg, and I was covering my flat on the left side, and they just brought a fullback out in the flat. He had to turn around and turn his head from me to catch it, and he just set me up for a big lick.
I know you grow up and you've seen Oak Ridge play, I guess now for what, 9 years. What did this mean to you, being a senior, coming down the field, coming down these steps for the first time for the first game?
It was pretty emotional, a lot more than I thought it'd be. It was real emotional. I almost had a few teardrops in my eyes come down the steps, and never been a captain before, got a chance to do that. Always wanted to do that, and everything worked out perfect tonight.
Well, you know, we mentioned earlier, in all the years I've been here, I don't know of another player that has ever played with the heart and the emotion that you have. I know you've got to be the leader, not only on the defense, but I'm sure you do a lot of things that spark the offense as well.
Well, I don't do much in the offensive role except cheer from the sideline, but I mean, I hope I'm a leader to everybody. Everybody's pretty much, you know, everybody just goes all out. And I don't know, I'm pretty much more of a defensive leader, but, you know.
I see you got an ice bag. What's that for?
I don't know what happened. I think I was covering the kickoff and somebody got their finger in there and poked me in the eye. I believe I have a nice shiner tomorrow morning.
That'll be nice. Joe, great game.
All right, thank you.
Bill Brock, receiver, Oak Ridge Wildcats, 49-7. What'd you think about this game?
Well, they played it hard up front for a while, but the game could have got a lot worse than it really was. I'm glad that coach, you know, took everybody. I gave everybody a chance to play. I thought that was good for everybody in the team.
You know, come in, you have a new quarterback this year. I know you worked a lot in the summer run pass league over in Knoxville. What did that do to you guys this summer?
Well, you know, we didn't really go over there expecting to win it. We just went over there, you know, to work on our routes and, you know, get Chad a little experience to throwing the ball. But I think as the games go along, he'll get a lot better, and he's, you know, keep his confidence up, keep his head up, and we'll be all right.
Absolutely. Great game, Bill. I know you had at least 2 catches, I believe. How many did you have, you know?
I'm not sure. All I know, I had a touchdown.
that was the big, you know, speaking of the touchdown, you know, Chad threw a great ball over there. It looked like you had to go up over the guy to get it. From where I was standing, it didn't even look like you came down with it. See the referees with the touchdown signal.
That was a perfect thrown pass by Chad. I came down with it, and everything came together. And, you know, we'll be okay this year. We're going to be ready to play.
Okay. Thanks a lot. Great game. Granger? Got Granger Marl here, kicker. Granger come out, hit the first extra point, and the next two. What happened on the next two?
They were good.
They were good. They hit the goalpost. Kind of had us scared a little bit.
Yeah.
I know you got Coach Saunders. You got coaching this year. He's never done that. I know you guys are working a lot more. I think you're coming to Blankenship a lot more. What has that done to your kicking team?
It's helped out a lot because this is like our second home, you know. When we go away, it's not going to be the same, but kicking here is just like being at practice. You know, it helps out a lot, and Coach Saunders has worked with us very diligently, and things are really coming together this year for the kicking game. I can feel just really wonderful things are going to happen this year for the kicking game. It's going to change Oak Ridge's history for kicking.
And that's wonderful. I think a perfect 5 for 5 tonight, or you may have had 6. I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah, it was. I'm not sure, but I made them all. That's
Great, made them all. That's what counts. Great game, Granger. Shaun Bohanon. Shaun, I got Shaun here. Shaun, another day at the office. 11 carries, 119 yards, 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, I was really surprised how I did tonight. And the line, they blocked real good. Stan Sis, Mike Gibson out on the flanker, and Vail Brock on the other side. And Jason McCallie was a surprise to me tonight. He did real good at the tight end slot.
Absolutely. You come out, you get to open a kickoff, run it, have a good return, about 30 yards. And then what happened on the next play?
Well, I don't know. I got the pitch, and the hole was there, and I just took it down the field and scored.
Coming out, you're All-State last year. You're, consensus All-American, preseason All-American. You're in Street and Smith All-American team. This year versus last year, does that put any more extra pressure on you?
Well, yes. Last year it was hard for me because that was my first year starting for the high school, and this year I just want to come out and show people that I can do what I did last year.
I guess the last offensive play in the second quarter, the first half. I believe you're up 21-0, I believe, and then it looked like you may try to run out the clock, and then what happens? You get the pitch.
I don't know. That run surprised me. I was running on the sideline. I thought I had the two dudes beat, and they had real good angles, so I tried to stop and cut back up the field, and I certainly scored.
Just another day at the office. 4 touchdowns, 199 yards.
Yeah, that was real good. I like my stats tonight.
Very good. David, let's go back up to you.